If you've ever watched my content, you know I'm always looking for a reason to talk about why StarCraft is awesome. And today's reason is that Intel, with the support of the International Olympic Committee, is hosting IEM PyeongChang, a StarCraft II event that will be in the lead up to the Olympic Winter Games PyeongChang 2018. I'm personally very excited about this because there's a lot of people that have never really watched high-level StarCraft II or esports at all, and this event is a chance for those people to find out why esports is so awesome. Therefore, today, I will be talking about why StarCraft II is an amazing competitive game. StarCraft II is a game about how difficult it is to be the commander of every decision that every unit makes for the entire duration of a game. You want to make a small attack against your opponent? Well, back home, you still have to make sure your workers are collecting the correct resources, that they're making the correct next structures in your strategy. You need to make sure no scouts can slip in while your army's off doing something. And let's not forget, this is all happening in real time. So you gotta keep checking up on that army, make sure you're not walking into a bad fight. If the battle begins, you need to make sure you're targeting the correct thing with all of your units, judging if you need to start retreating, making sure that none of your units are out of position. And while that's all going on, let's not forget that back home in your base, you still have to keep making sure that you're producing workers, producing units, and so on. The skill of playing StarCraft is figuring out how to sequence the hundreds of actions that you need to make every single minute so that your strategy is going as smoothly as possible. When you're in charge of every single decision, you can focus on certain areas to make big plays. For instance, controlling a small number of units in such a way that they deal way more damage than they ever would have if left alone. These micro techniques, as they're called, can allow you to come back from a game where you're losing, or create new strategies that depend on very good control. At a large scale, players sometimes call attention the fourth resource in StarCraft. There's already so much going on, so many little things you have to manage, that if you're getting attacked on 2 or 3 fronts, you might not have enough attention to focus on all of those. You might get distracted by one location and lose at another. While all of this is going on, players are still having to make big, high-level decisions of what the next step in their strategies are. What I adore so much about StarCraft is that with so many decisions going on at any given moment and so many big strategic possibilities, you really begin to see identities bake out in players' gameplay. For instance, Liquid TLO is really well known for his multitasking and his creativity. He'll often make weird unit compositions or be hitting multiple places at once with tiny little forces, eventually crumbling an opponent's defense. On the flip side, you have a player like Innovation who's honestly known for his lack of creativity. He does the standard, expected style 20% better than anyone else on the planet. When you play against Innovation, you know exactly what's coming, but his armies are so big and are controlled so well that eventually you crumble. With all the different styles and personalities and big plays and incredible comebacks and championship events, StarCraft II has been a joy to watch in the last 8 years and will continue to be so in the future. So if you have any friends who have not watched any esports, who have not watched any StarCraft II, please encourage them to tune in with me and all the rest of the StarCraft community for IEM PyeongChang. It is February 5th to 7th. It's going to be amazing because StarCraft is amazing. I hope to see you there.